I just leave. I go home. I go home to my life, and I take care of my cat and do all the stuff I'm supposed to do.
The courtroom is full, the pressure unbearable, and then bam, the cameras catch it. Whoopi Goldberg falters. Not physically yet, but everything else collapses. Her presence, her confidence, the courtroom command she once owned. She's hunched, blinking too fast. One hand clenched on the desk, the other twitching near her cheek. The same woman who ruled The View like royalty now looks like she's gasping for air. Because this isn't TV, this is war. And Karoline? She just dropped a bomb. The $800 million lawsuit Whoopi once laughed off is now roaring through the courts, rushed by a judge clearly done with delays. And now, receipts flying, emotions wrecking Whoopi. She's unraveling in public brutally with the whole nation watching. Before we break down this epic collapse, smash that like button for truth. Subscribe if you think fame doesn't mean exemption. You hit it? Great, because things are about to explode. Let's rewind to the moment this whole blaze began.
These women are completely out of touch with reality, and you're right, ABC should wake up.
Stage was set. The cameras were rolling, and Karoline Leavitt, composed, confident, and utterly unshaken, stepped onto the set of The View like she owned it. Because she did. But instead of a warm welcome, the co-hosts circled like predators, sensing weakness. Joy Behar struck first. With a smirk and a jab, she mocked Karoline's youth, questioning how someone so fresh-faced could possibly offer real political insight. Laughter followed. The hosts grinned. Then came Sunny Hostin, delivering a smile dipped in disdain and slid in a line about white privilege. She'd said it before, but this time it hit like a sniper shot. Calculated, sharp. And then Whoopi Goldberg, reigning queen of barbed remarks, leaned in, locked eyes, and dropped the blade. You didn't earn this. You're just a product of right-wing pity politics. The crowd roared. The panel beamed. Karoline? She didn't twitch. She didn't spar. She didn't grandstand. She took notes, every word, every smirk, stored away. And days later, no tweet storm, no emotional podcast, no cryptic selfie caption. She filed a lawsuit, a defamation nuke, $800 million, filed, served, headlines made. Every sentence from Whoopi now sat as Exhibit A. At first, The View laughed it off. She's grasping, Whoopi scoffed. This won't go anywhere, Sunny chimed in. The panel chuckled. They dismissed it live, expected it to vanish like yesterday's outrage. But this wasn't fleeting. This was a reckoning. The case is now fast-tracked by court order. Depositions have been bumped up, witness lists multiplying. Discovery widened to pull in private texts and internal talk. Testimonies already prepped. And Whoopi? Nowhere near ready. ABC's nightmare is gaining speed. Karoline's legal team? Ruthless. They've demanded the uncut footage, pre-show memos, behind-the-scenes chatter, every message exchanged before that episode aired, even Slack logs from the control room. And according to someone close to the case, what they've uncovered is damning, absolutely damning, because this isn't just about one line from Whoopi. It's about a pattern of mockery, a pattern of targeting, a pattern of performative outrage that just got way too real. And now there's no hitting pause, no cutting to commercial, no laugh track to cover it up. Just the truth under oath. And Whoopi, she's front and center. The courtroom is tense. You can hear the rustle of legal papers, the soft hum of reporters' pens scribbling, and the quiet buzz of cameras adjusting their lenses. Then boom, Karoline's legal team drops the first piece of evidence, a document stamped with time codes, internal notes, and direct instructions from producers at The View. It reads, "Have Joy needle her on age, then let Whoopi go hard. It'll trend." The gallery gasps. Another piece flashes on the screen. Keep the camera tight when Karoline reacts. That's our clip. The courtroom is stunned. This isn't commentary. This isn't spontaneous TV. This is deliberate orchestration. This is a coordinated takedown dressed up as daytime chatter. The judge leans forward, eyebrows lifted. Whoopi's face goes pale. Her lawyer gently places a hand on her arm, an instinctive gesture of comfort. She jerks away. Her eyes are wide, searching the room, almost like she's looking for an exit that no longer exists. And the bombshells keep coming. Slack messages between producers. Mention Trump, see if she takes the bait. Plan B, have Sunny lean in with race. If Karoline freezes, we got our moment. Emails between segment coordinators. Let Whoopi lead. She's got the credibility. The audience will eat it up. One internal script draft even has a line in bold font. Attack with intellect, dismiss with humor, flip the crowd. And what's worse, Karoline's team brings in forensic text to confirm the digital signatures. Every message, every timestamp, it's all real. The judge can barely contain his expression. At one point, he removes his glasses, sets them down, and looks directly at ABC's attorneys. Did your producers coach their hosts for this moment? Silence. Not one word from ABC's side. Not a single objection, no denial, just wide-eyed attorneys flipping through binders like they're searching for an escape clause. And in the corner, Whoopi Goldberg, mouth tight, hands clutched together so hard her knuckles have turned white. She's not confused. She's not shocked. She's terrified. Because this isn't just a PR disaster. This is a courtroom obliteration. And Karoline still hasn't said a word. It's now past the second hour of proceedings. The courtroom lights feel hotter, the air denser. Whoopi Goldberg, once the queen of cool-headed clapbacks and sass-filled monologues, isn't speaking. She's crumbling. Her shoulders, once squared and proud, have slumped like a woman bearing invisible weights. Her hands, known for animated storytelling on national TV, now fidget relentlessly, twisting a tissue, smoothing the courtroom table, adjusting imaginary dust.
I respect everything everyone is saying to me, and I don't want to fake apologize. I'm very upset about that people are misunderstood what I was saying.
Her attorney leans in. She doesn't respond. She doesn't blink. And then a tear. Just one. It rolls slowly down her cheek, glistening under the harsh fluorescent lights. She wipes it away quickly, hoping no one saw. Everyone did. Journalists glance at one another. One types Whoopi crying into their live blog. Another begins drafting a headline. Breaking, Goldberg breaks down in court. The judge calls for a 10-minute recess. Everyone rises. The attorneys file out. Reporters stand. Viewers watching from monitors around the courthouse lean forward. But Whoopi, she doesn't move. She doesn't look up. She sits frozen at the table. A bailiff quietly walks over to check on her. She whispers, "I didn't know they saved all of that." Her voice cracked, raw, defeated. Karoline Leavitt sits on the other side of the courtroom, composed, unmoved, not smug, not gloating, just resolute. She watches Whoopi with the same calm expression she wore when this all started. Like she knew this moment would come, like she prepared for it. Whoopi's attorney returns with tissues, a bottle of water, and some whisper of encouragement. But Whoopi doesn't speak. She doesn't smile. She doesn't Whoopi. She breaks. And when court resumes, she's no longer the woman America tuned in to watch. She's a cautionary tale, one about what happens when public personas clash with private miscalculations. And Karoline? She finally leans to her lawyer and says 2 words. Let's continue, because the show isn't over. It's only just begun. Behind the glossy smiles, the colorful mugs, and the scripted banter of daytime TV, ABC is an absolute meltdown. Forget calm press releases and controlled spin. What's unfolding behind closed doors is nothing short of a corporate crisis. One so severe, insiders are calling it the most destabilizing moment in The View's modern history. Why? Because the courtroom didn't just put Whoopi Goldberg on trial. It dragged the entire machine behind her into the spotlight. Inside ABC's corporate offices, panic has gone nuclear. High-level executives are hopping on emergency Zoom calls multiple times a day, sometimes before sunrise, just to assess the fallout. Every conversation redacted, hushed, NDA locked. One insider whispered, "We thought the lawsuit would fizzle. It's now a full-scale disaster." The legal team is working overtime, combing through episodes, emails, producer Slack logs, anything that could protect the network. ABC's Human Resources Department has reportedly been instructed to audit every segment involving political guests from the last 18 months. But that's just the start. Multiple sponsors have already begun pulling out quietly. A luxury skincare brand, gone. A longtime auto sponsor requesting to pause ad placement until further notice. It's not a boycott, it's a strategic retreat because no brand wants to be caught between daytime drama and an $800 million defamation firestorm. And inside The View's production wing, the mood is apocalyptic. Staffers are dusting off old resumes. Associate producers are taking discreet coffee meetings with rival networks. Several interns reportedly asked supervisors whether their names might end up in the lawsuit records. But the biggest shift, ABC is reviewing Whoopi's contract line by line. Not just her performance clauses, not just her legal protections. They're analyzing her moral clauses, her public responsibility guidelines, her social conduct expectations. Translation: they're looking for the exit hatch. Sources say internal discussions about gracefully transitioning Whoopi out have already begun. Marketing teams have paused all promotional content featuring her face.
It's not good for anyone, and it's not good for poor folks. It is not good for y'all because you become slave fodder. It's not a good thing. It's not good for women because you are now being told and dictated to, and you can't say anything because they, throw you in a jail or whatever. And people got very, very, very angry and still are angry. I mean, I'm getting, all of the mail from folks and the very real anger because people feel very differently.
Even reruns of controversial episodes are being pulled from syndication queues. And here's the dagger. A formal exit strategy draft is already being prepped. It reportedly includes a public health-related hiatus, a scripted farewell announcement on air, soft transition to a new host panel, media talking points for damage control interviews, and while no one will say it publicly, insiders are blunt and private. Whoopi might be out. Not next year, not next season. Soon. Because as this legal inferno rages hotter by the day, ABC knows what's really at stake. It's not just one host, it's their entire brand. And if they don't act fast, it's not just Whoopi's name that could collapse. It's The View itself. While Whoopi Goldberg crumbles under the weight of her own words and ABC scrambles to patch a sinking ship, Karoline Leavitt is rising like a rocket. This isn't just a conservative firebrand holding her ground. This is the media moment of the decade.
Voters do not agree with these despicable women on The View. They are wildly out of touch with the vast majority of Americans, and frankly, they should seek immediate help.
Well, listen. If you don't have anything to say, you blab. You just go on and 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 on.
I would like to talk about Joe Biden and Donald Trump, who you work for.
I am stating facts that your colleagues have stated in the past.
Okay,
now, as
I'm
for
sorry,
this
guys.
debate,
We're going to come back out to the panel. Karoline, thank you very much for your time.
Across TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and X, formerly Twitter, clips of Karoline's calm, composed courtroom demeanor are being clipped, stitched, and analyzed frame by frame. Hashtags like Expose the Receipts, Karoline Stands Tall, Media Accountability, and Receipts Not Rants are trending globally. She didn't shout. She didn't storm out. She didn't even blink. What did she do? She showed up in court in a navy blazer, hair tied back, a thick binder of evidence in hand, then sat through hours of depositions with the poise of someone 3 times her age. No eye rolls, no emotional outbursts, just laser-focused resolve. Commentators across the political spectrum are in rare agreement. Whether you love her or hate her politics, this is how you handle media smear jobs.
The most divisive and disgusting speech that any president, certainly in my lifetime, has ever given. He essentially waged war on half of the country by saying that we are all a threat to democracy because we believe in putting America first. It's not radical to want to put your country and your own people first. It's not radical to want to have a strong border, a strong military, and to unleash the might of your own economy, not economies around the world.
Fox News anchors are calling her a future legal and political powerhouse. CNN analysts, yes, even CNN, have labeled her performance strategically flawless. Even a few notable center-left writers have admitted on Substack Karoline did her homework, and it shows. But it's not just pundits taking notice. Behind the scenes, celebrities are quietly sending messages of support. A well-known A-list actress reportedly DM'd Karoline on Instagram with a simple line: "You're braver than most of Hollywood combined," and that's not an exaggeration. Because in a culture where public figures are expected to either lash out or lay low when attacked, Karoline chose a third path. She brought receipts. Literal, time-stamped, courtroom-admissible receipts. No rants, no victimhood, just proof. The kind of proof that turns talking points into legal liability. The kind of proof that forces even die-hard skeptics to pay attention. And what's even more shocking, she hasn't said a single word to the press since court began. No interviews, no tweet storms, no cryptic Instagram posts. While the View's camp scrambles to shift blame, Karoline's strategy is as clear as her courtroom testimony. Let the truth talk. Let the public watch. And guess what? The public is watching. View counts on her video clips have passed 50 million across platforms. Petitions demanding networks like ABC be held accountable for biased, misleading attacks have racked up over 2 million signatures. Think about that. A 20-something press secretary, once mocked as too young and too conservative to take seriously, is now being hailed as a case study in media pushback done right. Some are even calling her Gen Z's first courtroom icon. She's not just winning the lawsuit, she's reshaping the battlefield. Because for too long, legacy media outlets like The View have gotten away with targeting voices they don't agree with, under the shield of entertainment. But Karoline Leavitt didn't just fight back, she set a precedent. And in doing so, she may have done the one thing no one expected. She made truth trend. All right, now that the dust is beginning to settle, it's your turn to speak up. Let's not pretend this is just another celebrity courtroom spat. This story isn't about gossip. It's not about petty drama. It's about what happens when powerful media voices finally get challenged, and the script gets flipped. So, we want to know. Should Whoopi Goldberg be forced off The View? After years of lecturing the world on morality, justice, and public responsibility, is it fair that she now faces the consequences of her own televised words? Should ABC let her walk, or should they make her answer for what happened on their platform? Was Karoline Leavitt justified in taking this to court? Did she go too far, or did she finally do what so many others were afraid to? Stand up to the machine and say enough is enough? Did she crack open a legacy institution that's been mocking people for decades with no repercussions? And most importantly, is this the beginning of the end for legacy media bullying? Have the days of hiding behind "it's just commentary" finally come to a close? Has Karoline Leavitt pulled back the curtain and shown America just how manipulated and performative shows like The View can really be? Because if this lawsuit sets a precedent, it won't just impact Whoopi or ABC. It could force every network, every host, and every producer to finally ask themselves, what's my accountability when I turn on that mic? So now go ahead. Drop your take in the comments. I'm reading everything, every hot take, every defense, every mic drop moment. This isn't just a recap, it's a conversation. And your voice, it matters. And before you bounce, don't forget, smash that like button if you believe in holding everyone accountable, no matter how famous they are. Subscribe for more fearless commentary the mainstream won't dare to say out loud. Share this with someone who still thinks The View is just harmless daytime television fluff. Because what just happened wasn't fluff. It was a cultural reckoning. A line in the sand, and Karoline Leavitt is out here with a megaphone and a binder full of receipts. She's not just defending herself, she's leading a movement. Stay tuned, because if this courtroom collapse is any sign, the real firestorm hasn't even started.